there, Guadans! How are you today? I hope everything is doing great and wonderful in God's grace. Welcome to our third week. This week, you're going to learn about the sum and product of roots. At the end of the week, you will be able to learn how to find the sum and product of roots. Before we proceed to our topic, let us have some trivia! What is the answer when we multiply 9 ones by 9 ones, or 111,111,111 times 111,111,111? Do you already have your answer, Guadans? Let us check your answer at the last part of this video. Come on, let's go back to our topic. Sum and product of roots. Previously, you have learned how to get the roots of quadratic equation using the quadratic formula. Now, we are going to let x sub 1 be equal to the formula, which is negative b plus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And we will also let x sub 2 be equal to negative b minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. First, we're going to find the sum of these two roots. So that is, we're going to add x sub 1 plus x sub 2. And x sub 1 is equal to this equation. And x sub 2 is equal to this equation. So that will be x sub 1, which is equal to this one, plus x sub 2, which is equal to this equation. Now, in adding fractions or adding rational expressions, if we have same denominator, then all we have to do is to add the numerators and copy the denominators. Now, we are going to add like terms. We have here negative b and negative b. That will be negative 2b. And another like terms, positive square root of b squared minus 4ac and negative square root of b squared minus 4ac. And this will be equal to 0. Then we have negative 2b and copy the denominator over 2a. So this equation will become negative 2b over 2a, cancel 2. It will become negative b over a. So this just means that the sum of two roots x sub 1 and x sub 2 is equal to negative b over a. How about the product of x sub 1 and x sub 2? All we have to do is to multiply x sub 1 by x sub 2. Now we're going to distribute negative b times negative b, b squared. Negative b times negative square root of b squared minus 4ac is equal to b square root of b squared minus 4ac. Next is square root of b squared minus 4ac times negative b. That will be negative b square root of b squared minus 4ac. Then it will become 0. Now, square root of b squared minus 4ac times negative square root of b squared minus 4ac will become b squared minus quantity b squared minus 4ac quantity all over 4a squared. B squared minus b squared is 0. Then, negative times negative will become positive 4ac. Then this equation will become 4ac over 4a squared. 4 divided by 4 is 1. A divided by a squared is a, and then c. This equation will become c over a. Then it means when we multiply two roots, x sub 1 and x sub 2, our answer is c over a. Therefore, if x sub 1 and x sub 2 are roots of the quadratic equation ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, then the sum of x sub 1 and x sub 2 is equal to negative b over a. and the product of x sub 1 and x sub 2 is equal to c over a. Now, let us try to find the sum and the product of the roots of the following quadratic equations. In this equation, our a is 1, b is 1, and our c is 1. So, for the sum of x sub 1 and x sub 2, all we have to do is to divide negative b by a. So, that will be negative 1 divided by 1, which is equal to negative 1. How about for the product of x sub 1 and x sub 2? That will be c over a, or 1 divided by 1, which is equal to 1. Now, try the equation x squared minus 8x plus 16 is equal to 0. What's your answer for the sum of the roots, Guadans? If your answer is 8, you are doing a wonderful job. Let us check. Negative b over a. Our b is negative 8 and our a is 1. Negative times negative 8 is 8. Divided by 1 is 8. How about the product of x squared minus 8x plus 16 is equal to 0? What's your answer, Guadans? If your answer is 16, you are very marvelous, Guadans. Let us check. C over 8, 16 divided by 1, which is 16. How about for equation 2x squared minus 9x is equal to 0? What's your answer, Guadans? If your answer is 9 over 2, you are very fantastic, Guadans. Okay, let us check. Negative b over a. That will be negative times negative 9 over 2, which is equal to 9 over 2. How about the product of the roots of 2x squared minus 9x? What's your answer, Guadans? If your answer is 0, you are on the right track, Guadans. Because the product of the roots of 2x squared minus 9x is equal to 0 is c over a, which is 0 over 2, and 0 over 2 is equal to 0. You are doing a fantastic job, Guadans. Thank you so much for learning with me and always enjoy mathematics. Now, let us go back to our trivia. What is the answer when we multiply 9 ones by 9 ones, or 111,111,111 times 111,111,111? Do you already have your answer, Guadans? Fantastic, Guadans! That is the increasing number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then decreasing 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So this is our answer when we multiply 9 ones by 9 ones. Excellent, isn't it, Guadans? Thank you so much again, Guadans. God bless.